let's do this. Let's make a start. Well, wow, I can't believe it is September. First of all, I mean, this is crazy. Where is this year going? I know parents are all celebrating kids going back to school, so woohoo to that. I know others are celebrating napping, getting their recharge on, so that's all good too. But I'm so excited to start September and month of digital marketing here at the Viva Coach Experience with no other than Miss 5 Divine Time. Welcome to the Viva Coach Experience. Welcome to the month of September, and welcome to digital marketing.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited. I know we talked about this. Gosh, I don't know.
Oh my God. I was just saying that to CJ. I said, we talked about this months ago.
Yes, it's been baking. It's been baking for all that time. But look, everyone, thank you so much for joining me and Miss 5 Divine Time tonight. I am the Viva Coach, your life coach for women and business coach for all. And each month I pick up a topic and we go dive deep into it through a podcast, a masterclass that really gives you all the tools to go and really sort of, learn about that subject yourself, that topic, and get your hands dirty with it. And then I have the Viva Talk as well, where I have panel of experts coming and again sharing their expertise on topic of the month. So like I say, topic of the month for September is digital marketing. Such an important one, right?
Absolutely.
It's such a core to businesses. It's no longer about kind of digital marketing just there. It's digital marketing is one of the first things you would think when you think about marketing, right? Yes, that's it. So why don't we start with first giving you an opportunity to introduce yourself to my audience, to my community, Miss 5 Divine. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do in here in real life, and your experience with digital marketing in brief.
Okay, well, I am in 5 Divine Time in the metaverse, and I'm Javon Freeman in real life. I am co-owner of Divine Lux Properties and Lux Vision Studios. Divine Lux Properties is a 3D modeling solutions company, and Lux Vision Studios is a social media marketing and management company, and now a television network. So
wow,
we have a lot going on in our little ecosystem.
Yeah, it's no longer really little, I don't think.
Oh my goodness. This has been the fastest 6 months of my life.
Amazing.
But, we're enjoying the journey, and I'm just happy to be here. Finally, right? As far as digital marketing goes, I explained I do a lot of social media marketing and strategy with Lux Vision Studios. And I'm enjoying the journey. It's stuff constantly changing in digital marketing and social media marketing as a whole. So I'm constantly learning new strategies to make it easy for me to do business better. So
absolutely.
I'm just excited. I'm just excited to be here to talk about it.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for being here. This is so amazing that we're able to collaborate on this, because I know you've got a whole lot of expertise around this subject as well.
Oh my goodness.
So let's start with, how would you define digital marketing? Because one of the things that I often find that people sort of, when they think about digital marketing, they, very much get led towards sort of social media thinking. And that's a huge component and part of that. But how would you define digital marketing in its holistic form?
Well, I would say, I use it in so many different ways. For me, in my early journey, I was in sales and I was in marketing, old school style. Like I've done a lot of sales and marketing for companies like Dish Network and just different companies and things like that. But for me, it was more over the phone, business to business type marketing. So now this is a totally different lane for me. So, now with it being the digital age of social media and literally you being able to market things from your fingertips, it's a lot easier than what it was 10 years ago.
Well, that is very true. Yeah.
But now
it's so accessible as well, won't you say?
Oh yeah, very much so. Accessibility, of it is way better than what it was, I would say, because I was talking about it with my mom today, and I was like, I really started doing this in like 2006, MySpace days and things like that. So now to be able to have all of these things integrated into software and social media, and it just makes it a lot easier, to access it with digital marketing. So, I would say it just makes it easier for you to set up emails and set up ads and things for companies, yourself, individuals, creators. So it's all the way around now. It's a big scope, like you were saying. So
yes, and scaling so massively and quickly as well.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for that. So let's kind of talk to the point of those that are setting up their businesses, especially we see this in this space, right? This metaverse as a platform has given everyone so many opportunities to come and turn their passions into their businesses.
Right.
And as part of that comes the whole idea around, right, how do I market my business? How do I digitally market my business? What would be your few tips to someone who's just starting out on digital marketing? Where do you think they should start out?
Well, I would say if you've already gone through setting up everything like your website and setting up your social media, I think those are the first two things that you should get out of the way. Just making sure that you have your logo set up and ready, something that is eye-catching, something that, people can just like, I'll just use an example. Like if you think Quaker Oats, you automatically think their logo, you think of the man in the in the hat and the red and the blue, you know what I mean? So just having your color scheme together, having all of your logos set up, and what your mission is, what your plan is, what you're going to be known for. That too is a big deal. And then once you have your online channels set up and your platforms together, having just your core, what you want to advertise, just getting ready to promote your products and your services. So having your brand together, having your products and services ready to go. And also having your optimization together, because oh my god, I'm going through this. I'm just going through my notes. You may see me looking down, but I'm going through my notes of just different things that we did. I know for me, I'm going to just be completely honest with you. When we established Divine Lux Properties, I was literally learning all of this as I went along because, I'd set up businesses before, like I had a hair salon before and things like that. But all of that was hiring somebody on to do it. And I had to do hands on to keep my overhead down because at that time, I'm still working a regular job. I'm still trying to figure out, how I'm going to monetize because we had just got here. I'd been here maybe 9 months when I established Divine Lux Properties and had my first client. So I literally had to figure it out quickly. So, for the most part, I had an idea of what I wanted it to look like. That since then has changed.
and that's really important part of being an entrepreneur is knowing when to pivot yourself, when
absolutely 100%. And we just recently changed that over, I want to say at the beginning of the year. I liked our first logo. Shout out to Nikki because she was the first one to help me get my first logo together. Nikki's in the audience. She did. Me and her collaborated on my first logo in here. And then as we pivoted over to more of a different audience, we started to switch things around and color schemes and things like that. And we were able to come up with, the new logo. But that also presented more clientele because switching and pivoting that around, we were able to get to a different type of audience.
There you go. And audience engagement is a big part of sort of your success with digital marketing. And we will definitely come to that very soon as well. But in terms of stuff, there are so many platforms to pick from.
Yes, they are.
And again, we'll come back to AI and the role that AI plays in all of this as well. And, that adds another layer of excitement and complexity, I think.
Absolutely.
But in terms of sort of the platforms that are available for digital marketing, how
It's a lot of them.
there's so many of them. How do you think we should decide on where to focus our energy? Because we can't kind of, you can't go too thin on the ground with these things, right? Because you do want to monitor the data. You do want to see, how your engagement is going, how your materials are doing, your content's doing. So to focus in the right places, how do you think someone should go about selecting the right platforms for their business?
I know with what made it easier for me, because at first I was just going and individually doing the data myself, and that's so time consuming. It takes so much time to sit there and go through all of your analytical data, all of the people who went to your website and things like that. So what I've opted to do is I've implemented using Hootsuite for my social media. And I've also implemented in my business using a software called Newsendler. Now, Newsendler pretty much is a widespread of different there's different operations that it does. So you have access to your leads, you can send out your emails, you can set up your website and data, you can communicate with your audience, you can access your calendar and set up courses. If you're doing master classes, you can do live streaming from there. It's a lot of different things that you can do from those particular softwares or websites. It makes it so much easier. I mean, I would say that Hootsuite resolves all of your major concerns when it comes to social media, because it helps you schedule, it helps you upload, it tells you how you're performing, it gives you your percentages of engagement. So and it's not just specific to a social media platform, it's specific to all of them. So it tells you how you're performing across the board. So I try my best to, with the research that I've done and the mistakes that I've made, I have implemented these two as my go-tos, because they are like a one resolve solution.
And I think was that the one that you used on the podcast that I was on as well, because we were doing live streaming.
Oh my goodness. I use so many different, oh my goodness. I have to, I don't even think we used.
That's okay.
Listen,
don't worry.
I don't even remember. I don't remember which one we used. We've implemented using so many different ones. I would say
I remember you were trialing that at the time.
When it comes to streaming, and like doing seminars and stuff like that, I would say you use Zenler, because it helps you manage your helps you manage the it helps you manage all of your webinars and set up your time, and then it pretty much will put it up for you, versus you having to do that legwork. Now, some softwares don't allow that, so it doesn't really give you, the bandwidth that you need. But for that, I would say Newsendler. Now, I'm going to just give you some tea. Now, Newsendler is not one that I would say is on a budget, but if you're doing business and you're using these functions, you normally can use them for 30 to 45 days, and they will ask you to verify your business information, and they will put you on a scholarship or give you a grant for a year.
Oh, fabulous.
So if you guys have questions about that, definitely reach out. I do have a discount code for that too, because I'm affiliated. So definitely.
Oh, fabulous. That's fantastic. I mean, you've heard it from Miss Five Divine. So do reach out. And I know you all have sort of, different businesses in the metaverse as well as in real life. So that is absolutely amazing sort of, platform as shared on this podcast just now. I mean, all of you have businesses in different capacity, like I say, in the metaverse as well as in the real life. Just to show off quick hands in the audience, how many of you using something like Hootsuite to kind of, help you manage your social media in a more efficient way? Or are you kind of using individual platforms to go in and posting on regular basis? So Jen Smash, you're using Gone.
Yeah, I'm working Teamworks.
Okay.
Teamworks, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So yes, I think it's really, really interesting what you're saying. And as you grow and scale, you realize how inefficient it is actually to go into each one of your platforms And like you say, they all give you some really good insights, but to kind of
Yes.
go in and individually do that, it's huge
It's a
effort
headache.
and
It's
time.
a headache, yes.
And yes, it's tiring as well, right? So because
Mhm.
essentially what you're doing is what Hootsuite's doing, which is kind of, pulling that data strings together and
Right.
creating one
And it's
dashboard
not
for
plug
you.
and play. So it
Exactly.
makes it where it's not plug and play, but it's borderline. It makes it simple enough to where if you're just starting out and you're a beginner, it walks you through the processes. If you're intermediate, you pretty much know how to post. You just need to post frequently or schedule your postings. If you're advanced, then I would say Hootsuite's pretty much going to just be your partner.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Fantastic. And you've just talked about how you've kind of, gone through so many different platforms. You've kind of tried them. You've learned, your lessons, etc. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced in really seeing success through digital marketing?
Well, really not knowing, because it's not something that you learn in school. I mean, now is something that, colleges are offering, as, courses and things like that. But, like I said, in me starting out on social media in 2006, that's not something that was a given, it was just pretty much having to figure it out. And then when with the launch of Facebook at that time, and I'm just telling my age, listen, if anybody asks you, I'm 25, I promise. But I mean,
not even 25,
not
just
even
going in
21. Yes, that too.
That's it.
But
there we go.
but I mean, as Facebook progressed, you saw the all of us probably saw the evolution of how people started to market their businesses. And they didn't really have a sponsoring structure back then. You just had to, do it and see how people responded to it. I mean, I would say some of my early on biggest concerns were just staying consistent, because it's so easy as being a human being to fall lax and want to go back into old habits and, I remember when I didn't have to do this and things like that. And for me, we're in an industry where, if you're missing a week, it's like you've been missing for 2 or 3 months, because things are constantly evolving. Even in digital marketing, things are constantly changing. There's softwares and products that are coming out to make this easier every day. So it's like you miss a day, you miss a couple of weeks, you miss a month, I mean, you know what I mean by that. But I mean, I would say that was my biggest issue, was the consistency. And we're still doing it ourselves. Yes, it's easier, but consistency and staying on top of it is so important.
Such an important part of all of this. And especially when you kind of, just setting out your business, you still, in early days of establishing and scaling and growing as well. And kind of, that becomes even more bigger challenge, I think. What are the key trends you're seeing in digital marketing right now?
Oh, well, I know that I'm seeing a lot of AI. I'm seeing a lot of AI products, come out, and I'm noticing too, there's still, I mean, even with AI, it still has to be manipulated by a human. So you still have to have some knowledge of digital marketing in order to opt into those types of things. But I've seen a lot. Recently I was looking over my social media, and there's an app out now. Well, not an app, it's software that you pay for monthly, but how the AI would produce all of your postings instead of you going in and doing it yourself. The AI does all of the postings and gives you recommendations and things like that. It's like $97 a month. I wouldn't say get it, because you can go through Gravity Right, and Gravity Right does the same thing, and that's like $19 a month, and it gives you all of your prompts. If you don't know how to do prompts, it gives you your prompts. It gives you it'll review your website and tell you, whether it's too wordy or what needs to change on it to get more engagement from your audience. So it's a lot of different things that are out there. I would say, if you haven't opted in and using AI, definitely do. It helps a great deal, especially with, analyzing your post, I wouldn't say just go straight in and let AI do all the work for you. You still want it to be humanized. You still want it to sound like us versus sounding like a computer.
Make it more AI enabled rather than AI led.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, because I mean, I see that too. The trends that I see is a lot of people using just straight AI for their postings, and it doesn't do anything for your engagement.
And it shows, right? It shows as well.
It shows,
because
definitely
it doesn't have your personality in it. It doesn't have stuff, what you stand for.
No, especially if your audience is used to a certain way of communication from you, right. And then you change it up with trying to implement AI to do the work for you. It kind of just takes away from the engagement side because they don't feel like they're personalized and talking with you.
And let's do some myth busting as well. So we all know everything algorithms, right? So we everyone talks about that when it comes to digital marketing. What are some of the myths around all of this? Should we really be posting 3 times a day? Should we be posting the same times a day? All of those different myths that we often hear on digital marketing. What are some other obvious ones that you want to bust tonight?
Well, I would say definitely piggyback off of the frequency in the postings. It's not the frequency that matters. It's the keywords that matters. Someone said SEOs are dead. Not true.
No.
Someone said hashtags are dead. Somewhat. That's 50% true. 50%. But I would say that's still a thing. SEOs are still a thing. Keywords are still a thing. So those are what's going to continue to drive the traffic. If you're just, for example, we recently did a concert through Lux Vision Studios called Trapaganza, right? With that, we did an aggressive ad campaign through social media to peak engagement for people to buy tickets for this event, for example. Now when I say aggressively, we did go frequently, maybe 3 times, and then we wait a day and then do an additional 3 times. Now that frequency works, but I wouldn't say constantly post over and over and over and over and over and over and over again throughout the day to peak engagement, because you'll have those small numbers of engagement and then of course they'll build up over time, but you're doing excessive work for no reason. You're going to get the same engagement regardless, especially if you've established your following and you're still in the building phases. It's not going to make much of a difference if you post as frequently. Like, for example, it's a trend going around with where people show their engagement on social media. So they'll take a picture of the analytical data in the background, and it tells you how many people you reached in a month's time. I'm going to use an example of someone that I saw. They said that they reached within 30 days. They reached 1 million people in engagement. Now, for me, I do my research to kind of because the thing about it is it's difference between organic and inorganic engagement, if you know what I mean. So you go on to and they don't realize when you have that inorganic engagement, you shoot yourself in the foot because you mess up your algorithms. You mess up who engages with your content. You mess up a lot of different things. But just back to what I was saying with the person's post, they post it so frequently, it kind of oversaturates. Oversaturates small posting, so maybe 3 or 4 or 5 views on it, 5, 6 views on that particular post, and they post again and again and again, and they all built up to 1 million. But again, your algorithm's in trouble.
And it's a very short-sighted
and it's
strategy, isn't it? It's not a long-term sustainable strategy.
But if you're using your content specific to your niche, not having a niche that's all over the place. And this week I'm doing engines because I'm like a mechanic. Next week I'm a music artist, so I'm doing music content. If you're specific to your niche, you see the difference in your engagement, and then that's where I say, okay, well, now hit it hard in that area because you found your tribe at that point. You know what I mean? So I had to tell this person, I'm like, hey, I know this is what it looks like, but what did you gain? Did you gain followers? What was the goal?
Exactly,
The goal was the
yeah.
goal. Gaining followers was the goal. Gaining engagement was the goal. To have someone go to your website was the goal for them to buy your CD. All of that matters. You can't leave that stuff out. You know what I mean?
That's where you should be starting before you even create a post. You should be thinking, what is my goal here? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But we don't often see that though, right? We see, like
don't.
you see so much inconsistency in the type of content you see on same profile or a page.
Yeah.
And once, so a lot of the time businesses are trying to create their that sustainable profile, really good numbers of followers, building that follower number up and up and up. Once you have a good, fair sort of account that you want to work with, and you really want to now continue to maintain and engage, what does maintenance of digital marketing looks like?
Well, most of the time, what I would advise when I talk to clients related to this, and they're setting up their profile, whether it's social media or with your website, once you figure out your goal, you implement those, because even Facebook and Instagram allows you to get access to their emails. And when they go to that learn more button, they click that learn more button, you have that data for emails. So now you can start your communication process. Now you can start to, send out those email blasts about what you're doing and what you offer. And that, I think that's probably one of the best things we could have did with Lux Vision Studios, because we really were able to hit it hard in, I would say, June, July, August, and get those people to learn more, get those people to reach out in those emails, and get that engagement up with the traffic to our website, so they actually get a chance to learn. Because on social media, all they can do is see photos, and they can see what you did to get responses on that engagement. But now they get to do the digging and really learn about your offerings at that point. So that data that you get, those emails that you get from the traffic to your social media, can really transition over to more business, more leads, more emails, all of that.
I am so pleased you've touched on that, because I was going to go to the website as well. And often I think what businesses tend to do, or those that are sort of managing the digital marketing part of their businesses, is they see their social media as one aspect, they see their website as one aspect, they see this sort of email as one aspect, but actually really holistically that is your ecosystem, right, for your digital marketing. And how are you almost kind of creating that CRM system, your customer relationship management? And these are the tools to actually really create that CRM presence in your business.
Absolutely.
And yes, you may want to double down on your social media, yes, you may want to double down on your website, but the connect between each one of them is really important. Like you've just said,
each one of them need each other.
Someone, yes, you might see reel after reel after reel, and yes, they might get sort of piqued interest, but once that interest is piqued, how are you capitalizing on that? How are you then 100%. Really optimizing your digital marketing efforts? And that's so important, but so easily missed. Emails are not a thing of a past. Emails are still something that's sort of,
still
a really important part of communication. Exactly. So, doing those email burst outs, doing sort of, ensuring that you're using your CRM in the right way to then actually do some target marketing is really, really important part of all of this as well. So, I think social media is almost in digital marketing, it's the glamorous part of the digital marketing, because that is what we see often, and that's what's kind of really accelerating in the ways that we've seen it. And the websites are now becoming something that sort of people are almost using that as a secondary source in many ways as well. But connecting the two together is really where the
you have to, because it's without leaving that one part out, you miss a group of people. Because to be honest with you, if you look at the older generation, they're not very social media savvy. They're not really social media savvy. They don't really know how social media works. Most of the clients that I have are older people that are trying to figure out how to leverage social media in their business, because they have no idea. They're used to going person to person and word of mouth. And since COVID, word of mouth is not really a big thing, much anymore,
Things have
because people are
changed.
not going out. People are not having much conversations like they were before. You have to have an event to have networking actually take place, because if they're not, I would say, not like we are in here, but you know what I mean? So you can't leave any stone unturned. You have to make that connection. And I the minute that we connected our website to our social media, people constantly go over to the website, constantly ask questions, constantly set up strategy
proven
sessions.
use case around this
right,
as well.
Because it's the way that the business is set up. We started out with social media marketing and social media management. So that's when we started to push the traffic that way. Then they ask all of the other things that we offer and all the other things that we do. So our focal point was social media marketing and management. And then we transitioned over to the website side of things.
Yeah, that's great advice. Thank you so much for that. And, we were talking about sort of different age groups, and that's so important, because you've got to know where the buying power is. And the buying power is not necessarily in the major audience groups on social media. Actually, it is those that will make that switch and go to the website. And that age group is very different, which is why it's so important to know your customer segmentation, your sort of target audience, and their personas in terms of how they would actually operate when they are on different platforms. Awesome. Well, look, thank you so much. There's so much more to unpack in all of this. And honestly, look at that time. We've already sort of had so much great conversation. Look at it. This is crazy. But this is amazing, because it's so important to learn all of these different skills, because from day one, as a small business, as a new entrepreneur, you're not going to be able to have a digital marketing expert onboarded alongside some other experts, right? So, but at the same time, it's one of the key things to get right. But it's one of those things you can actually learn and apply quite quickly. And you've got others that you can sort of, go and ask questions and learn from as well. Whereas, we were talking about sort of Jen's in the audience as well, Jen Smash, we were talking about finances. Finance is one of those things you do need an accountant from day one. But digital marketing, you can go on courses, you can do self-learning, you can really, if you invest in it, and you do have to invest in it to get it right, you can actually make it work really, really well. Now, look, there's always a part that comes towards the end of my podcast, which is a rapid fire round.
Okay.
And
deep breaths.
Look, I think they're just going to be super, super easy questions, right? They're just going to be super easy questions. But let's do this. This is going to be some fun. And I know this is one of the favorite parts of my audience as well. But I've got your rapid fire questions ready right here.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we'll just start with a very easy one. What's your go-to social media platform?
Go-to social media platform is Instagram.
Ah, cool. One digital marketing tool you can't live without.
Oh my gosh. I can't live without. Ooh, I would have to say New Zendler. I'm sorry.
Get that discount code. Get that discount code
ASAP, because I'm telling you that I mean, that if they shut down, have mercy.
That's when no number of naps are going to be enough for you.
Oh yeah.
No. And if you could only use one hashtag for the rest of the year, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. Hashtag productivity.
Oh, love it. Fabulous. Name a brand or a company that inspires your digital marketing strategy.
Oh my goodness. Google.
Oh, nice one. Okay. And what's one thing people would be surprised to know about you when it comes to sort of your business, your ways of sort of working around digital marketing, etc.?
Ooh, ask that again.
What's one thing that people would be surprised to know about you when it comes to sort of the way you operate in your business or digital marketing space?
Oh my gosh, I quiet quit every day. Definitely do.
Right. And then the final one, first thing you do when you wake up.
Oh my gosh. First thing I do when I wake up. Oh my God, look at my phone. Ugh, that's
That was
bad.
the reason I asked that question, because I think that has become such a norm, right? First thing we do now
Yeah.
is pick up our phone, and I'm so guilty of
Yeah.
doing the same
I
myself
gotta
as well.
change that. I gotta change that.
There we go. And show of hands, how many of us are waking up in the morning and first thing we're doing is checking our phones? We've got a room full of guilty peoples.
Oh my God.
Problem, no problem at all. Right, like Miss Five Divine say, we're gonna have to change that. Let's
Gotta
start
change
with
that.
maybe a prayer, maybe words of gratitude, or,
God, not
or
so
just
much
seeing how
radiation first
beautiful
thing in
having
the
another
morning.
day is. Yeah. But if you're doing that, I'm hoping you're looking at your data to turn that into insight, to turn
I'm
that into an
telling
informed
you.
decision for your business.
That's facts. That's facts. No, that's facts. Emails and analytics from the previous day.
There you go. That's it. Yeah. If you're doing everything hashtag productivity, then we're good, right?
We're good.
Awesome. I love this. Look, thank you so much for coming
Oh my
tonight
God.
and
Thank
being
you for
part of this
having me.
podcast. No,
I had
absolutely
so
my
much
pleasure.
fun.
Oh,
many
I'm so
laughs. It
pleased
was
you did.
good. It was
I'm so
good.
pleased you did. Look, it's such an important topic, which is why this is the topic of the month here at the Viva Coach Experience throughout whole of September. Now, I do have some shameless plugs to end with. So the masterclass reminder, first of all. So don't forget, the Viva Masterclass on digital marketing is coming up on September 25th. It's going to be an in-depth session where I will dive deep into strategies that we've discussed today and more. And you can sign up using the link to my website in my bio on Instagram, or you can of course DM me on Instagram, but you can also catch me after this session as well. And anyone who's listening in the room who signs up today before that 12 o'clock sort of deadline to the next day gets 10% off as well on the masterclass. So go and get yourself registered. And just a quick reminder as well, go and follow me on Instagram at the Viva Coach. You can see all the handles, etc., on the screen behind me as well. And I will be posting a whole load of content on digital marketing throughout the month. So please do leverage that, learn and grow and scale your businesses on digital marketing. And finally, please do like and save this world so that you can come back in here with a click of a button the next time you're here. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much to my guest, Miss Five Divine Time again. Let's give her a whole lot of confetti. Let's give her a whole lot of confetti. And this is the Viva Coach. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. Thank you.